Hi, this is Chanda Rubin, and you're listening to Brothers on Tennis.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. And yo, we're coming at you today with another episode. We're recording it via IG. And yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, Bryce. I mean, we've got some World Team Tennis results that finally kind of came to a close as of today. And we got some tournaments that are kicking off and just some really, really good things, man. What's the good word, my brother? What's happening?
You named it, man. You know, in addition to that, we're starting the preparations for our celebration of our 1-year anniversary, which is actually on August the 26th. But we're going to celebrate all month long, you know, just really feeling, you know, very proud of ourselves in terms of, you know, what we've done in our first year and, you know, what we look to do in year number 2. So look forward to some good things this month.
Absolutely, brother. I am so jacked and so excited about the fact that we are coming in on that official 1-year anniversary, man. It's been just a joyous path and journey, and I mean, you and I have learned so much just in regards to the podcast game and tennis and just everything, man. This has been a wonderful, wonderful journey, and it's just so exciting to you know, be able to say, yo, we've got 1 year under our belt. What?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
So Bryce, how are you feeling, brother? What's going on?
Nothing much. I tell you what, as it relates to World Team Tennis, you know, I know it's been around since the 70s. I've, you know, been aware of it, but I gotta be honest, even as a tennis fan, I've never really watched it a lot. I mean, I may have caught a match here or there. I was channel surfing and it was on and I stayed on for a little bit, but it was nothing that I just kind of tuned in on and dedicated time and watched. And this year was different. And I'm going to assume it had to deal with the Rona, you know, because we didn't really have a lot of the other tennis on that we typically have on, right? And so we were just so thirsty for some some tennis that we were like, shoot, World Team Tennis, that looks good to us right now. So, and I must say, if there are other people out there like me, I became a much bigger fan of World Team Tennis this year. And I think for years going forward, I will be much more invested in watching it. What about you? I don't know if I ever really remember hearing you talk about World Team Tennis a lot in the past.
Yeah, Bryce, I mean, I have to say that I am absolutely on the same page. I really didn't follow World Team Tennis as closely as I followed it, of course, this summer. I heard about it, you know, it was more or less just, you know, you really just had a lot of players out there who were just sort of trying to gain a rhythm, or I don't know that we were getting the elite players in WTT in years past. I think people are just like, yeah, I'll play it. I need to get some reps to going into the summer hardcourt season. But I think this year, again, like you said, because of the pandemic, there was more focus on it, not only from a viewership, but also from a player perspective, and just trying to get their rhythm and get some competition prior to, you know, this very unique, you know, schedule that we have coming up for professional tennis. So, I mean, I thought it was incredible. And like you, I will definitely be following World Team Tennis going forward, because I think it has now garnered a bigger, I don't want to say name, but I think it means more to people now, because I think people saw it as really being something very cool and something that they need to follow moving forward. So I thought it was excellent, bro.
Right. And for those of you that may have watched it, you would know that today was actually the finals. And, you know, it was a 3-week event, and typically what happens is each team has like their home location. So if they're in Chicago, their home location is Chicago, right? And so when they have home matches, if they're playing New York comes to Chicago, or they're going to New York. But because, once again, of the Rona, they decided to kind of have the whole bubble environment. where they were in one location. They were in West Virginia, of what I thought initially of all places, but it was a beautiful resort. They were there for 3 weeks, and it seems like they were really able. They were able to hold a successful event with the proper protocols without anyone testing positive for the Rona, showing that in the United States you can have a tennis event and conduct it safely. And even when they had kind of one incident with Danielle Collins, and I'm not going to go down that road again because I think we'd have beat her up enough for this, but there was zero tolerance there. Once she stepped outside of the bubble, they were like, no, that's it for you. I mean, you can't come back in. Right?
That's right.
So I think more than anything, even more than how good the tennis was, I like the confidence that it gave us, meaning the tennis community in the United States, that we could hold a professional event safely and not put anyone at risk. It didn't end up being part 2 of the Coronavirus for Everyone tour. That was for Mitchell. I just want to put that out there. That was for Mitchell.
Was for Mitchell. There you go. That's the best name ever. Corona for Everyone tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was really, really, really good. And like I said, very well done. And like you said, it should hopefully then, allow them to feel much better about the Cincinnati-ish tournament that's supposed to be before, U.S. Open and the U.S. Open itself. So again, if people just play by the rules, we can be safe. We can do these things, people. It's just play by the rules. That's all that anyone is asking you to do. For the fans or the people who are going to be there, wear your mask. Stay 6 feet. It's just not that serious. We know what needs to be done. It's just folk being hard-headed and not do it. That's what's putting things at risk.
So let's do this, Isaac. Let's kind of go back and forth a little bit on what are some, over the period, before we talk about the finals that happened today, let's talk about some things that we saw across the 3 weeks that's gotten us excited about the tours getting ready to open back up. And because there were quite a few stories to get excited about. And I'll start with an easy one, which is we saw Kim Clijsters back looking like Kim Clijsters.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she had a bit of an injury there and kind of had to stop halfway through, even though she stayed with the team and continued to be a supporter. When she was playing singles, she was undefeated. She was 5-0, and she beat Sloane Stephens, and she beat Sophia Kenin, and she beat the people out there that, we consider the top Americans. So it was really good to see Kim back, and like I said, the WTA is going to have a problem, and that problem's name is Kim Clijsters. She is going to be a player that other players are going to have to really deal with.
Absolutely agree, brother. I mean, I couldn't have said it even better. I mean, Kim is back. I mean, Kim is back. She's playing great tennis off both sides of the both forehand, backhand, serves looking good. And like you said, she's just going to continue to get better and better as her fitness gets better. So overall, man, just the ladies got something to worry about in Kim Clijsters. You do not want to see her in your part of the draw, I tell you that much.
Not at all.
No, not at all. And I tell you what, Bryce, the other person that in my eyes has just been an absolute standout, and it has just been showing that, you know what, you also need to watch for this individual as well. And that's that daggone Brandon Nakashima.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, that Nakashima, bruh, whoo, and listen, folks, I'm going to just, we don't want to have any spoiler alerts and everything, so if you ain't watched the final, gone off and put this on pause or check back. We do want you to watch this, though. Right. But, we don't want to spoil nothing for you.
Right.
So go on and step away if you need to, so while we talk about these folks. But simply put, Bryce, Nakashima showed out during this entire WTT season. And he got up in that final, and he was simply like, you know what, Jack saw, ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you. You would not have no game for me. Your game is not ready for me.
Right. In singles.
Brandon,
in singles.
In singles. No, you don't want to fuck with him in double.
Right.
Don't mess with Jack Sock in doubles.
Right.
But I tell you what, in that singles though, woo, Nakashima got game, dog.
Yes,
His
he
serve
does.
is big. That backhand is smooth. Ooh, that's a beautiful backhand.
Right.
And even though he's got a little loopy kind of a forehand, he still works through that, and he still is able to hit it and still be pretty consistent on that side. So, and that's only going to improve. So, for me, Bryce, he is by far the one that I'm like, yo, you need to watch for this kid. He ain't gonna be no joke. He gonna slide up in there and shock some folks. Go ahead, bro.
I totally agree, and I love his demeanor because he's strictly business. He's not all this over the top antics and all that kind of stuff. He goes out there. He's got a job to do, and he does it. And although we were clowning just a little bit about Jack Sock did get up on him in doubles, he played well in doubles. I'm not trying to say.
Ooh, yes, he did.
He played much better than I thought he was going to play, and he's showing that he's not just a singles player.
Right.
To me, he played far better than his partner Rajiv Ram.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that 100%, bro. He got out there and was like, he's like, I'm gonna hold up my own. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and he did that, man. He did.
He did.
Yes, is the one, man.
Yeah. Now, somebody else, as we continue talking about, topics that are coming out of this season. If you were paying attention at the beginning of the season, this won't be a surprise to you. But on the women's side, watch out for Jessica Pegula. Yes. She has got game. She ain't scared of nobody. Her coach is actually the previous coordinator for Venus Williams, David Witt. And so, like I did that,
I love
right?
how you said coordinator. I like that. That was good. Because I was like, okay.
If y'all, it's okay if y'all didn't get that, but okay. But yeah, and he must be teaching her a few things he picked up from the experience with Venus, because Jessica Pegula didn't waste no time putting them things on Venus when they played here in World Team Tennis. She had some great wins. She was actually kind of the backbone of that Orlando team once they gave the boot to Danielle Collins. And showed, Danielle, we don't really need you. We got Jessica, So watch out for Jessica. I'm not saying she's gonna step out here and win the U.S. Open or anything, but she might pull a couple of good upsets on the way.
Absolutely agree. And like I said, she even played great singles, just throughout. And it was, to me. You have to, even point out that in the semifinals, it was 5-4, but she beat Sloan.
She did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She got the victory.
Yeah. So she beat Sloan. She got the victory. She held her own. So like you said, when Danielle, was dismissed and Pegula, got activated, Pegula was like, hey, I can step up and I can do this.
Right.
Danielle ain't no better than me. I'm not scared of her either.
Right.
So I was very impressed with Pegula, man. Mm-hmm. And like you said, a couple of ladies. So you got Pegula on one end that was very impressive. The other one that I would say I was also impressed with is Jennifer Brady. Brady showed out as well during this season. She played some good ball. And it's funny because, Bryce, sometimes I look at her and I'm just kind of like, she all right. She look, but dude, she got some game. I mean, she can fire off of that forehand. She got a lot of nice spin, aggressive spin on her shot, more so than you would even think. And I like her game, and I like the fact that she's not afraid of any shot or anything. She just goes after it, man. I like Jen Brady a lot, bro. Yeah.
Now, kind of on the other side of things, someone who, or I should say, a team that is looking like they're losing a little bit of their shine are the Bryan Brothers. It looks like they're kind of getting to that point where other teams are like, we're not really scared of you anymore. We can get up on y'all. And you know what? But hey, it is their last year, and if they were on top of the world, it probably wouldn't be their last year, right? So, it'll be just nice to look and watch them hopefully have a very respectable last year. Hopefully they'll do very well at the Olympics, because they will get that number one doubles spot for the Olympic team, for the U.S. Olympic team. But they're no longer, and they really haven't been for a little bit. They're no longer really the powerhouse team to watch out for anymore. So.
Yeah. I mean, and they've even kind of not said as much, but one thing that I kind of noticed that they did say is their mind really isn't on the wins anymore, but it's appreciating the competition and the play and kind of where they are. And, you know, like if they're in a city, they're trying to better appreciate being in that city, you know, because it could pretty much be the last time that they're there. So I think that they're trying to enjoy things a little bit more, which of course then takes away from a little bit of that competitiveness that there is. But I mean, at the same time, it could play to their benefit, you know, going forward in some of these future tournaments, because it may just make them so loose that they just go out there and just, you know, throw it all to the wind and play some really great tennis, which I'm hoping to see, because it would be nice for them to really go out on top and maybe even snag yet another Grand Slam before
that
they
would
call
be nice.
it quits. You know, that would be nice. I would wish that for them, just simply because they have brought so much to the game of tennis, and especially the game of doubles. Because doubles was, you know, it was not looking too good when they came on the scene, and they really brought doubles to life. So you want them to be respected for what all they've given to that, you know, to that part of the sport.
Right. What else? What's your next takeaway from the season?
Yeah, let me see if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and I'm hoping that it does turn into something. I'm just hoping this person can kind of get themselves back to where they were before. And who I'm talking about, of course, is just Jack Sock. I mean, Jack got game, dude. Jack has game, and it just doesn't make any sense to me that he has not got his singles game tighter as of yet. So I'm hoping that by them, you know, pulling this upset, they pulled the upset on Philly, they came back and pulled the upset on Chicago. Hopefully he can take some confidence out of this and really get his singles game back, because it doesn't make any sense to me in my eyes that Jack Sock is not at least, at minimum, top 20 in the world from a singles standpoint. There's no place he should be. He should absolutely be in the top 20. So the fact that he is not, to me, shows a level of underachievement, because his game is just too big. I seen Jack hit some forehands, Bryce. They just didn't even make any sense. I was just like, and just the whip of it, just, and not like he was even putting all of his, but the whip and just, and I love that dude, man. But he needs to be higher. Anyway, I know you appreciate that because you're a big Jack Sock fan.
I am a big Jack Sock fan. What's your feel? I want to say a couple things to that. So, number one, I am encouraged because if we remember, before Dorona stepped in, Jack was actually starting to play pretty well. And so hopefully he can pick that back up. In the semifinals of World Team Tennis, he had a good win over Taylor Fritz, who, by the way, was somebody whose game looked really good to me. Taylor Fritz may be somebody players are going to have to watch out for, too. He may be rounding into his own right now. Heck, he's got a great coach, Anna Cohn, so his mama was on the tour. So he has all the makings, you know, to have a really good game. But the other thing that I'm going to say about Jack is, you know, Jack is now engaged and, you know, he's going to be married. And I think he's starting to settle down a little bit because, for me, Jack Sock was he's very similar to Kyrgios to me. You know, a lot of natural ability, has the flair for the dramatic shot, maybe doesn't make the right decisions all the time because he's going for the dramatic shot, but just has insane natural ability. And you think, based upon his skill set, he should be so much higher than he actually is. But I have more confidence that the discipline is coming in with Jack versus the Kyrgios. I think Kyrgios is just always just be out there and do what he wants to do. But, Jack's about to have a wife and a family. He got to have a good paycheck coming in. So he needs to make sure, he's being all that he can be. But I totally agree with you, man. I think Jack Sock is I think that was a really good look on him. And doubles, he is probably the best doubles player on the men's side in the game. So
Absolutely.
I hear he and Pospisil are getting back together. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so that will be a good thing. They made a
Yeah.
good team, and Pospisil actually his game had been coming around once again. So
Exactly.
a lot of things to look forward to. I'm going to add one more person, and I know we've already talked about this in a previous episode. Once again, staying on that whole talent side, Taylor Townsend. I mean, she has shown once again. We didn't really see her in singles in World Team Tennis, but she once again showed that in doubles, the hands, the reactions, the kind of understanding where to be when is she should be at the top of the game. Kind of like Jack Sock and kind of like Nick Kyrgios, I think there needs to be a little more focus and discipline on some other parts of the overall game and preparation. But, she's got the talent, man. She absolutely does.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I mean, you and I have talked on multiple occasions about Taylor Townsend, and we enjoy her game. We support her. I mean, she is just someone that has incredible tennis talent. And again, we also I won't say we pick on her, but we also just point out those things that need to be kind of worked on. And once again, it's all out of love, and it's just for the effect of we want her to be able to reach her full potential, which
right.
I personally don't think that she has met as of yet.
No.
And so again, we just are hopeful for her. But she played well. She played extremely well during the World Team Tennis season, and she was a big reason why Philadelphia made it to the semifinals. Is because her mixed doubles as well as her women's doubles with Dolehide just were outstanding. They did some good stuff out on the court. So
yeah.
Taylor, we always gonna be behind you and wishing you the best. It's just we want you to focus on all aspects and try and get the most out of yourself for the game, because there's just, to me, a little bit more that's being left on the table that you could bring. So
right.
And Bryce, what I will say lastly, another player that just to me, of course, stood out, and she ended up getting player of the season as well, and that's Bethany Maddox-Sands. Dog, I love Bethany. I love
She's
Bethany
awesome.
Maddox-Sands.
Yeah.
I just love that girl.
Mm-hmm.
She is just, I love her attitude.
Her energy.
I love her. I love when her energy is just infectious. When she is out there, I feel her. It's like I feel her intensity. I feel her joy in playing and in the competition of the sport. I feel like she's such a great balance of being extremely competitive, but really enjoying what you're doing, win, loss, or draw. She enjoys herself. Man, I love that young lady, man.
Right.
How do you feel about Bethany?
Oh, I'm crazy about Bethany Maddox-Sands. She is probably my favorite. If I could get her and Taylor Townsend playing doubles together, that would be my favorite team behind Venus and Serena. That would be
exactly.
That would be such an amazing team. Yeah, she's awesome, and I love the whole thing about her and even her husband. How they are, they kind of have this social media thing going on, and they're making a whole movement, right? And I love it when someone like a Bethany Maddox-Sands, who, I mean, she can play singles, right? But she's really made her career on the doubles court. And I think it's important for the tourists to see, you don't have to be a singles player to be successful in professional tennis. You can be very, very successful, as a doubles player. Just be the best at whatever you're doing. Enjoy what you're doing. Be good at what you're doing. And she's awesome. I love Bethany Maddox-Sands. So let's do this.
Yeah,
let's talk about the results. So the final four ended up being the teams that we thought they would be. Top seed was Philadelphia. Actually, Orlando jumped into the number 2 spot because Chicago had a little bit of a slide. Chicago was in the third spot, and then fourth was New York. And I got to give it up to you, Isaac. You were the one that said, watch out for New York. They could be the one that sneaks up and surprises a Chicago or a Philadelphia. And they did both.
They did both.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, right? And what's crazy, Bryce, they did both without utilizing Kim Clijsters.
Yep.
I mean, that's insane. I mean, that's really insane. And talk about Luke Jensen as the coach. Kudos to him for doing that. What do you call it? The swap, or what do you call those things?
Right.
The
substitution.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The trade.
The trade.
Yes,
Exactly. Kudos to him for doing the trade of Coco Vandeweghe and Melinkar.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you what, and like you said, you know, me and you, we both on the same page as it relates to Coco.
Right.
But I tell you what, Coco showed up and she showed out for them. I have to say,
she did.
I mean,
she
did. Really played well. And like I said, I don't like giving her much credit, if any. But she brought because like Jack, they're very fiery. They're very, kind of a little bit on that arrogant side.
Yes.
Coco more than Jack.
Way more than
but
Jack.
I think that worked in her favor. Yeah, way more than Jack. But she came to the court and she was bringing it. And I just, good for them for being able to, again, sneak up on both Philadelphia and take it to them. And they did it to them. And then they, like I said, they shouldn't have won today, but hey, when you got women's doubles and Coco and Melinkar were like, we gonna keep scratching, we gonna keep biting, and we gonna do what we need to do to get this W, and that's what they did. I mean, and Bryce, for it to be 6-all in the final set tiebreaker,
right?
And for Coco to hit that forehand that, for me, I thought looked out, and then they replayed it, and it's on the line by that much. Dude, how awesome of an ending is that? I mean, bruh, it was crazy. So, I'm sorry. So, I'm jumping all over, and I don't already spilled the beans. But it was outstanding, bro. It was just outstanding, and kudos to New York. I mean, they coached well, and they did the right things. And anyway, let me get your take on that, brother.
No, I mean, you're everything you're saying is 100% correct. I mean, I know Jack Sock is wiping his brow because we know Jack Sock likes bagels, but we didn't expect for him to take one in the singles. And I mean, you know how bad he would have felt if they had lost by just like a game or two, knowing that he got that bagel put on him. But and I totally agree with you. You know, not a fan by any stretch of the imagination of Coco Vandeweghe. She's not my favorite Vandeweghe, because that's Kiki, and she's not my favorite Coco, because that's golf. But she came in, and she came in, and she did the thing for them. I gotta give credit where credit is due, and Melinkar too. And what did you think about that substitution at the end when Kamal substituted? He put Sloan in for Bouchard.
Honestly, bruh, okay. And see, there's a lot that I have to say on that and just Kamal in general. For me specifically, I thought that was a great move. Mm-hmm. Sloan got up in there and Sloan started playing. Yes, Sloan played some really strong doubles. And I tell you, remember that point in the tiebreaker where she hit that volley winner in between Coco and Melinkar? Yep. Mm-hmm. That point was outstanding. Right. Because I thought for sure that was going to go to the New York. And Sloan was like, boom, boom, take this. And I was just, dude, Sloan got up in there and she was like, look, I'm about to put it all out there. And you can't fault that. I mean, that's why I was so impressed with not only that, but like what you just said when you talked about Nakashima putting things on Sock 5 Love. Right. Listen, that was done for a reason. And I'm going to tell you what, and you got to give strong kudos to Kamal Murray. Because Kamal was like, you know what? I like Jack, but Jack Fitness ain't all that tight.
Jack like donuts.
Jack like them donuts. And them donuts going to get up on him in that third match. So he was like, "Yep, I'm gonna let you play
Right.
doubles. I'm gonna let you play mixed doubles, and I'm gonna let you play singles. And I'm gonna let Brandon Nakashima get up on you." And Brandon was like, "What?" He was like, "And you tired?"
Oh man.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No,
that was outstanding coaching. Outstanding coaching.
I was very impressed by Kamal with the coaching. And something for everybody to remember. Chicago was a new expansion team. So this was their very first year. So
First year.
even though they didn't win, I mean, I'm sure if you told them at the beginning of the season, you'll make it to the finals, they would be like, all right, we take that. You know? But yeah, it was that final was literally about as good of a final as you can have.
Oh yeah, it was so good, and I mean, you know, and even though, like I said, the semifinals with New York against Philly,
Right.
I mean that was good one. That was a good
It
one.
really
It was
was.
really close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole Chicago and
Orlando.
and what was it, Orlando.
Yeah.
They were just like, y'all need to get out the way.
Who was so
Sweat.
happy to see Tennis Sandgren get smacked all around the court was me. I was like, yes, just beat him.
Beat
I
him
don't care how
down.
beat him down.
Like I said, that Nakashima was like, ain't nobody scared of none of y'all. You better know it. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of Jack. I ain't scared of none of y'all.
Right.
I'm 18 and I'm fearless. And they compare me to Djokovic and you think I'm be scared of you? Please. My
insane.
goodness.
But like
Yeah.
Isaac said, if you haven't watched it, go watch the World Team Tennis. It was so good this year. And I feel bad because I haven't really been following World Team Tennis. And we have Orange County team right here. We got the San Diego team right below us. We got Vegas team that's right next door to us. We're surrounded by World Team Tennis teams. And just know, listeners, Brothers on Tennis will be at World Team Tennis next year. I mean, as long as Dorona is finished doing this thing and we've gotten our minds right to wear a mask or something or to do anything to prevent it.
Right.
Just to be like any other country in the world. But anyway, that will be our goal to try to be there if we can.
Absolutely.
So anything else?
And I mean,
go ahead.
that was even because. Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say that was just sort of our plan, even if things have worked out this year. Because remember when we were talking about Rosie, we were gonna talk about doing Vegas and potentially, seeing what's going on out there. So definitely, 2021. Understand and know we will be all over World Team Tennis and the 3 teams that Bryce mentioned. I mean, that's unless Bryce they decide to do it in one location again. Because I tell you what, that Greenbrier, I think is where they were, that was really good. I have to say, for them to kind of create the bubble and I feel like, minus Daniel Collins, everybody did their thing to stay within the bubble, lots to do there. So that's also something that's pretty cool that they may decide to, to kick up on as well. Hey, Jen.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think what they will probably look at is they can still get more revenue by having the individual cities host their own matches, because then you've got, 9, 10 different stadiums venues that you can fill versus just the one. But I personally like what they did at the Greenbrier. I think it was good to have them all in one location. And they may do that again. Like I said, especially depending upon where we're at with the Rona. So.
Absolutely, bro. So yeah, man, World Team Tennis, it was outstanding. It was exactly what I think all of us as tennis fans needed at this time at this point in time. And looking forward to, now the tours beginning to get their ramp up going. So, we'll see what that looks like.
Right. And before we go any further, I just want to make sure all of the people joining the Instagram Live, we see you. We're trying to wave at you. We're not interacting as much here because we're trying to get through our agenda. But if you want to chat with us, if you want us to answer your questions, if you want to have a dialogue with us, send us a DM. We are a part of a new startup app called Locker Room. It's not out to the general public yet. If you DM us, we will give you a way to access it. Unfortunately, right now it only works with Apple phones. So if you have an Android, you're probably just going to have to wait for production. But we have a show every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And that's where it's been really fun. We've had some really great dialogue with all of you followers and listeners. So if you're free and you want to join us on Wednesday, just send us a DM. We'll send you the instructions on how to join. And we've been having a pretty good time. What do you say, Isaac?
Yeah, I mean, echo that, man. Locker room is the place to be. We definitely, excuse me, are able to interact more with folks and really go into some of the questions, things we talk about either during our podcast show, which is what we're doing now, or just in general, anything. We can just talk about it off the cuff, and we love doing that. If you can.
Exactly.
Yes, we love it.
Right. Well, let's talk about some good news, Isaac. So we know that Friday they ended up confirming that we are on schedule for both the Western and Southern Open, which, for those of you that remember, this is a tournament that normally happens in Cincinnati every year, men and women. It will be played at the U.S. National Tennis Center a week ahead of the U.S. Open. And the U.S. Open is officially on. Now, granted, even though they've green-lighted both of these tournaments, understand, if something crazy happens, they will cancel it in a heartbeat, right? But if everything stays on track with where we're at right now, we're going to have a Master Series for the men, Tier 1 for the ladies, and a Grand Slam happening or kicking off this month. So that's excellent news. Now, so far, we know of some people that have already backed out. So, number one, we know Roger Federer took the rest of the year off, so we won't see him there. I think it was yesterday, Kyrgios announced that he's not coming. I don't think that was a big surprise because I think the day before that, or a couple days before that, Ash Barty came out and said she wasn't coming. We already knew from about a month and a half ago, Simona Halep came out and said, "You won't see me." So those are the only official people that have said we're definitely not coming. We do know that for the Western and Southern, Gael Monfils and Svitolina are not entered, which I assume if they're not entered in the Western and Southern, they're not going to play the U.S. Open either. They're going to probably stay there in France and prepare in Europe for that swing of the tour. So what do you think, Isaac? Is it time for us to start getting hyped, for these tournaments?
I think so, man. I think for sure we've got, even though, like you said, there are a few players that have decided that they are not going to come, there's still a ton of people that are going to come. Like I said, I think your Dominique Thiem will be there. I honestly think that Andy Murray's going to come across the pond and going to be like, yo, I'm going to try and do some things here. Apparently, they're already planning on another Brit, whatever that thing that he and Jamie Murray did. They're going to do a part 2 of that, so he's playing. So, again, I think he's trying to get his reps going. I just feel like there are going to be a lot of players that are going to see this as a great opportunity to try and slide them a Grand Slam underneath their belt. So to me, I feel like it will be very well represented from an overall player participation standpoint. So dude, I'm ready to get hyped. I'm ready to get excited about this. This is gonna be good, bro. Yeah.
Right. I just need for Serena Williams to come on and snag number 24. And if Roger's not there, that's an interesting question. Like, if Roger's not there, who would I want to win? Well, you know me. if I could just make anything happen, it would be Songa. I'd have Songa win, but I'm not even for certain that Songa's gonna come. And I would just say as long as it's not Djokovic, I don't care.
Honestly, if I could wish for anybody to win, and it not be, and of course Roger's not there, like we were saying, my first choice would be Gael, only because I just always love how he plays and everything. Right. But if he's not there, and you might laugh at this one, from a possibility standpoint, but who I would like to see sneak up in there and take it would be FAA. I would love to see FAA just come out the woodworks as a teenager, because he's still 19. Mm-hmm. For him to be a teenager, to slide up in there, and mind you, he's been in 5 finals. He hasn't been able to win any of them. Right. For him to then be able to just come up and boom and get him his first title as a Grand Slam, I feel like not only would his confidence just absolutely explode, but how awesome is that for you to have as your start of your career? I won the U.S. Open with an asterisk, but it don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. That would be my personal story that I would love to see. Yeah. I like that kid. I really do.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at him winning at all. That would be a good look on him for sure. But before we even get there, the tournament that I'm very excited about is not this upcoming week, but it's the week after, which is that Top Seed Open tournament that's going to be held in Lexington, Kentucky, where you've got the Williams sisters, and you got Sloane Stephens and Kanta and all the Osaka and Kim Clijsters, and I mean that is going to be a great tournament, And I'm sorry, Kim Clijsters is going to be in the Western Southern, but that's when it starts to get real serious to me.
Right. You've got Azarenka up in there. Coco Gauff is up in there as well. Yeah. So, I mean, we got, isn't it Osaka?
Osaka's Western and Southern also.
Oh, she's Western and Southern too, yeah. But I tell you what, still, of the names that you mentioned, bro, that Lexington topic, that is going to be an outstanding tournament, and I cannot wait for it to start, man. Right. I will be so right in front of the TV trying to soak in every single drip drop of those matches. You hear me? Right. Ooh, they're going to be good, y'all. Come on now.
Have you heard anything about Tiafoe? I mean, we haven't, ever since he dropped out of that Atlanta tournament with the Rona, I haven't heard an update on him.
No, neither have I. I think, I see that as the question. And I don't know what's going on with Tiafoe. So I'm assuming that he has recovered because we haven't really heard anything, to the contrary of that. Right. But I'm not sure what his status is. And I would imagine if he is healthy, he's going to play the Open. So, but it's just a matter of whether or not, he's feeling good. Right. I know that, Grigor's back playing UTS, and he actually kind of finally, I think, got him a victory over there. So I think he's feeling a little bit better. So, those folks that have the Rona, hopefully they are, they've been able to get healthy and put it behind them. But we'll see. But haven't heard anything on Big Foe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have next week the official return of the tour. We have our first ladies tour. It's the Palermo Ladies Open in Italy. And, it may not be an A-list of women's players, but, it's a nice B- list.
Exactly, B-.
Yeah, we got, in terms of the top 8 seeds, we have Martic, Vondrousova, Sakari, Kontaveit, Mertens, Vekic, Yastremska, and Alexandrova. So I'm interested in a couple of those. I mean, Sakari is always out there to battle. Always. Mertens is always out there to represent. Donna Vekic, she's still one of the up-and-comers, but I got my eye still on Yastremska. With her, with Sasha, they were doing well before, Dorona stepped in and kind of broke everything up. But if she can come back and pick back up, Yastrzemska and remember Rybakina. Those two, keep your eye on them.
Yeah, yeah. Both of those two especially because Rybakina, she's no joke. I mean, she's gonna come back and I feel like she's going to take up right where she left off and she's gonna be smacking some women around. Yastrzemska, like I said, she's had a little bit of a curvy up and down here and there. But like you said, now that she's got Sasha on the coaching staff, I really expect for her consistency to improve and for her results to actually continue to build. So yeah, both of those players definitely be on the lookout for sure.
Yeah, I see somebody saying, Vondrousova is an underdog and she is the number 2 seed in this tournament. I guess my problem with her a little bit is that ever since she made that, it was the French Open final, I believe.
Yeah.
She just has not been very consistent in her results. And, I'm really looking forward to, seeing her get more consistent. She looks like she has a very good game. She got that whole lefty swing going on. But, I just don't think she's realized some of that potential yet.
Yeah, and she's still super young. I think Vondrousova is still either 19 or she might be 20 at the most. So she's still very, very young in her career and in her game. So she can build a lot more. Like you said, Bryce, got a great lefty game. But yeah, she just still needs to build a little bit more. But I do expect her to deliver some better results as we move forward in the future for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things that I meant to mention when we were talking about the World Team Tennis results, shout out to friend of the show, Katrina Adams. Who did an absolute excellent job with the commentation of the semifinals and the finals. And particularly today, that little 60-second commercial spot she had on diversity was excellent. So, great job, Miss Adams. We were watching and very, very proud. Great job.
Absolutely. Thank you, Katrina Adams. We appreciate you, and like I said, great work. And like ditto to what Bryce said. I mean, it was just great. I loved how she was providing sort of the analysis of, especially on the double side, because we know Katrina is like, she rocked it out on the double side especially. Right. So she was just like, yep, I see what they're doing. She needs to do this, slide over here. She was I like how she was doing the commentary. It was very tactical, and I really enjoyed her perspective on some of the shots that the players would either go after or try, or what she would recommend that they do in certain situations. I really enjoyed her commentary. It was very good. So shout out Katrina Adams. Good job.
Yeah, that was great. So, so is there anything else? What else is going on in the world other than us getting prepared for the Palermo Open next week? Still waiting to see if any more people are going to declare that they're going to be out of the Western, Southern, and the U.S. Open coming up. Looking forward to the Open Top Seed tournament. And and we do need to mention, because I think we talked about it in Locker Room last week, that there are these barbs going back and forth between Coric and Kyrgios. And Coric is trying to call Kyrgios out for calling other players out in terms of not being safe in this environment, and specifically the Adria Tour and all the people that were involved in that. But then, of course, Kyrgios ain't going to not respond, right? So he's already come back talking about Coric's game was boring and he can't wait to see him, and Don't you know by now that you don't want to piss that guy off because he is going to bring his full and complete game on you?
Yeah, especially when he know he can beat you. Now, like you said, he'll kind of bust up on Djokovic and Nadal a little bit, but he really gonna bust on you if he know he can beat you. That's why he went off and stole on Verdasco the way he did, talking about how his backhand is just What do you call it? Basic?
Yeah, average.
Average.
Yeah, average backhand.
You say with your average backhand. That's a sure. Shame on you, friend. Why are you bringing the fury on yourself? Come on, bro. So you better know that when they meet up in a draw, oh yes, I will have my popcorn ready.
Right.
Ready.
And I don't know if this is official or not, but I saw somebody had posted from Serbia kind of like the guidelines for them having the Adria Tour, and it specified that they were supposed to be using the social distancing, no handshaking and all that. So, I can't verify the document, but if that is truly the document that was given to them, then it makes it look even worse on Djokovic and company, because it would be different if, the country was saying, oh, yeah, it's okay for you to do that and whatever. If they were saying not to and you still did it, no.
Shame on you.
Irresponsible.
Irresponsible, which is what Nick has been kind of calling out. And like was just said, rightfully so, because again, it's about safety. It's about being responsible human beings during this crazy pandemic. Get your mind right. It's not like people are asking you to do something that is just so absurd that no, they're just asking you to be safe. And I'm sorry, everybody should be able to do that without any level of questioning or you're let me not start, bro. Let me just not start.
Right. We'll keep this one about tennis today.
There you go.
So, before we start to, wind things down, we want to remind everyone, this is our Instagram Live. We will put a version of this out as a podcast, and it'll be available on all the podcast hosting sites. We're on all of them, so I'm not going to even go through naming them all like I typically do. But as a reminder, you can find out anything you want about Brothers on Tennis by simply going to our website. And that's www.brothers, which is BRUTHAS, ontennis.com. And Isaac, you want to tell them about the latest thing that is available on our website?
Yeah, so here's the reason, outside of course, checking out our episodes, you want to find anything about us, go on out there for that. But straight up, we just went live with our online shop. So you are able to get Brothers on Tennis merch. So we got hats, we got t-shirts, we got dry fit, hoodies, sweatshirts. We have a shopping page right off of our website. Again, just hit shop right on the website. You'll go and you'll see our merch. You can purchase it, put it in your cart, PayPal, boom, boom, all done, all good. And for the month of August, folks, we are doing a 15% off pre-sale. Right. So we will be doing that from August 1st, which was yesterday, all the way until August 31st. So you put in your orders right now and you will get 15% off on your entire order. So I'm trying to tell y'all, it's time for you to get outfitted in the Brothers on Tennis. It's the merch that you want. It's the merch that you need to be playing in and representing in. Because when you're on the court, you want to scare somebody. Be like, boom, look at my Brothers on. They can be looking like, oh hell, this person ain't no joke.
Right.
Trying to tell you.
And we're gonna share something with you that hasn't even been announced yet. It'll be announced in the next day, but we're gonna have a special contest. And that's going to be for every product that is purchased during the month of August during the pre-sale. Each product will count as an entry into a drawing we're going to have. And the winner of that drawing is going to win a hoodie, a Brothers on Tennis hoodie. So if you go out there and you buy 3 things, a t-shirt, a dry fit, and a hat, you will be entered into the drawing 3 times. And let me tell you, you want the hoodie, because I was sporting the hoodie at the U.S. Open last year at the night matches, and it
the hoodies were
right.
The hoodie's nice.
The hoodie was real legit. So
nice and comfy.
Right. So you'll see us start to promote that giveaway in the next day or so. But you guys are the ones that are hearing it first. So go ahead and go out there and get your purchases.
That's right, man. Yep, hook it up. We want you supporting us and just enjoying yourself out on the court. So yeah, support your brothers on tennis. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So, do you have any last words, Isaac, before we sign off?
I think we're good, Bryce. I mean, just another great week of tennis. World Team Tennis has closed, and it was just a fantastic event. And we are doing a lot of things with this podcast. I'm very, very proud of what is being accomplished. I'm so happy we are into and close to our 1-year anniversary. So I'm just jacked, bro. August is going to be a fantastic month, and I'm excited about it. How about you, man?
I concur with everything you said, and just really excited for the tours to get started again. To resume safely, but to resume nonetheless. So, World Team Tennis has got my juices going for the competition, and I'm ready to see Miss Kim Kleisters step back out there and remind these chicks what time it is, right? Remind them what time it is, right? Because I don't think they're all going to be ready. Right. I don't think they're all going to be ready. So, anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. This is your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone stay safe. Take care.